Okay, we are finishing slope from a graph and then also learning about finding slope from a table. So I made a mistake yesterday with the slope. It was hard to see the lattice points on this example, so I'm going to zoom in to show you that it should actually be this point and this point. So go ahead and fix that real quick. And it should actually be 9 over 11. So let's look at the other side of this slide. I just want y'all to check and make sure that you have yours completed. So on the first one we did together, the second one I believe we did together. So then we have the third and fourth that you need to check. These are both negative slopes because they are falling from left to right. And we have negative 1/3 is the final slope here, and negative 7 over 4 is the final slope on number 4. So make sure you have that completed. So let's look at slope from a table now. Go to slide 10. Finding slope from tables. Identify the change in, we have a word bank over here. You're going to find the change in the y values. When you do your y values, that is your up and your down. So that is your rise. And then identify the change in the run. Oh, in the x values, which is your run. There we go. So you find the change in the y values. You're seeing what the pattern is. How is it moving up or down? And then find the change in the x values. That's your run because the x-axis is from left to right. Then write your slope as rise over run and simplify as needed. So let's look at this first table. We're going to find the change in the y values. The y values is on the left side of the table. So let's see, how much does it change going from 60 to 65? 5, and it's a plus 5, right? What about from 65 to 70? 65 to 70. I'm still on the y's. Yeah, so I'm going to copy and paste this a couple times because I actually want to show what all of them are. So going from 65 to 70 is plus 5. From 70 to 75 is plus 5. And going from 75 to 80 is plus 5. So our rise is plus 5. Okay, let's look at our x's. Change in our x values. Going from 5 to 25. Plus 20. From 25 to 45. Plus 20. Going from 45 to 65. Plus 20. And then going from 65 to 85. 20. Sometimes they'll be the exact same, like this, going from 5s on all the y's and going on by 20s on all the x's, but sometimes they'll be different. Then we write our slope as rise over run. The rise is the change of the y values. Let's put here. Rise is the change in y values. Did not spell change, right? So then our rise will be 5 over our run. Let's make another little text box over here. The run is going to be the change in x values. There we go. So our slope written as a fraction will be rise over run. Rise 5, and then run 20. And we should have it over here. Five over 20 is our slope. And then we can reduce that, reduce by 5s, divide by 5 on top and on bottom. And that becomes 1/4. Hey, y'all finish that? Okay, let's go to the next page. You're going to drag and drop the correct numbers to each location. This is identical to how the notes are set up. Look there if you need to. So look there if you need to. Each problem will have its own set of drag and drop. So let's look at the first table. You start with your y values. So going from -5 to -3. What kind of change is that? What is it? Yeah, +2. Okay, what about from -3 to -1? I'm just going to put that right there. -1 to +1. +2. And from 1 to 3. There we go. So each of these is a +2. Okay, what about the x values? From -9 to a -6. How do you go from -9 to, yeah, you'd be +3. -6 to -3. +3. From -3 to 0. The +3 again. From 0 to 3. It's a +3. So then we can find our slope by doing rise over run, the change of y's over change in x's. So that would be 2 over 3. And that can't be reduced at all. That is the slope. Okay, so I'm going to give you a little bit of time to do 2, 3, and 4. So I'm going to pause it while you work on that. I'm going to show you the answers now so you can check your work and we can go over anything that we need to go over. So on the second one, it's the y's are adding 4 each time while the x's add or subtract 1, which would be 4 over -1. And I want you to write equals -4 on there. Because we need a final answer, and over a -1 is not our final answer. We want it as a whole number, if we can get it as a whole number or as a fraction that's simplified. Okay, and then number 3, there was a little bit of a change, a mix-up right here, right? Because the y's, it starts out going down by 3s, and then all of a sudden it goes down by 6. I'm going to make these a little bigger. So then it goes down by 6, and then down by 3 again. And then the x's, it goes down by 1, down by 2, and then down by 1. So one of the fractions is negative 3 over negative 1, like this one. But then you could also write negative 6 over negative 2, which if you reduce both of these, you come up with a 3 on both of them. So it doesn't have to always be the same change of y over change in x. It just has to simplify to equal the same slope. So these are still proportional. This went down by double, so then the y went down by double. Okay, and then number 4, change of y over change in x, negative 1 over negative positive 5, which is negative 1 over 5. So that is all the notes for today. You're going to have an assignment to find the slope from a table and from a graph. So those will be on Google Classroom.